Hi, my name is Nathan, and today we're going to do a comic book review of King Spawn, issue number 10, brought to you by RatedComics. Let's get to it. Now, before we go any further, we're just going to do a quick touch-up on the previous issue, where Spawn traveled to the Green World by the invitation of Gaia. Once there, he was attacked by the Heap and Simon the Kingslayer. After surviving, Gaia gives Spawn a grave warning about bringing Wanda back to life if he takes the throne. And when we begin this issue, it starts off with black, white with the flood of red. I believe it's inferring the real transformation of rage that's taking place with Spawn as he begins to inherit the throne as King Spawn, which may lead to what the character's becoming or about to become. So while Spawn faces down Gaia over the potential fate of his wife, his friend Terry roams the streets of New York. Like Al, Terry loved Wanda too. And like Al, he's learned too much to let certain things go. First and foremost, that his wife Wanda could possibly return from the dead. If Spawn takes Azrael's offer, the Exodus Foundation can make that happen. It's why he needs to get inside their building. He needs to see for himself all their inner workings. And that is where this guy comes from. And that guy, his name is Leonard Cole. He works at the janitorial night shift at the Exodus. He introduces himself where he tells Terry hello, and Terry within seconds puts him out. Just takes him down real quick with the swiftness. The only person to witness that, or the only thing to witness the beating, is the mud puddles, or so Terry thinks. He gets his jumpsuit, some keys, and a couple covert tools. That'll be good enough, even in the shadowy presence behind him, because that shadowy presence is Spawn's shadow always haunting Terry. And he talks to the shadow, "I've got lock, picks, and a gun. I don't need you." But it turns out the trick is on himself, because Terry realizes the ghost isn't really there. It's a trick, one that his own mind keeps playing on him. Eventually he gathers himself together because it's time to execute the plan. The cleanup staff changes shift at midnight, so the entire building will be like a skeleton crew. And like most people, no one notices the janitor. As long as he keeps his head down, he's on time, keeps his nose low to the ground, and just does his business. Terry goes to the elevator. He looks at the building's blueprints online. There's a locked floor on the elevator panel number sequence. He's about to fix that. The door opens. He gets to his floor, and Terry hears voices. "I told you he'll fail. I told you the plan's working. Spawn's chasing Azrael's tail, so the plan's working." And what he hears is these two demonic brothers, Zab and Ab. And they're having a conversation about the combining their teleportation powers, how that brought back Kincaid and Jason Wynn from the dead zone. And that's referencing King Spawn issue 3 and issue number 5. Terry realizes, though, these two demonic brothers, Zab and Ab, don't look like much. Their ability to teleport has helped return old enemies to Earth. And they're talking some more. "Imagine what we can do if we were healthy. Who else could we free?" Hey bro, are you listening? It's all the Shadow Man. We're just part of it, so get over yourself. What really matters in the grand scheme of things is Spawn wants his wife back, and we all want this world. So at some point, we're gonna make Spawn choose one or the other, the world or Wanda. Terry sees it in his own mind's eye. He sees Morona seducing the tech billionaires, making use of their social channels, causing neighbors to turn on neighbors and families on each other. And at the end of all this will be Azrael walking towards us with this beast behind him, ready to cause destruction and mayhem. Terry arms himself with the night vision goggles. He turns the lights out. The brothers are like, "What the hell?" Terry knows he's out of this league, and the only thing that'll keep him alive right now is his anger. He has to channel the inner rage of Spawn, and he attacks the brothers, goes to work on them. As his blood boils, Terry channels the same rage and anger he's seen from Spawn. "Tell me where Wanda is." "She's not in the dead zones, and the only one strong enough to bring her back is a king," says one of the brothers. "What does that mean?" says Terry. In his anger, Terry had momentarily forgotten about the other brother. He goes in from behind with this knife and impales him in his eye. And Terry's skills aren't close enough to be able to defeat the two demons at once. And the brothers are like, "That's what happens to anyone trying to delay the king's journey towards his throne. Let's go, little brother." Terry just lays there. "You're not going anywhere," says Terry, and he gets back up. Turns out in the military, they teach you how to play possum. That knife that went through his night goggles did not exactly go through his eyes, just a couple inches away from it. Never turn your back on special forces, says Terry. Though Terry knows that the blade had penetrated another inch or two, he will be dead. He scours the rest of the floor and he feels a chill. A good soldier trusts his instinct. Terry had the same feeling dozens of times before. It always means something's wrong, and he wades through the horrific mix running down the hall as he prepares for anything. The more I go on in this book, I'm kind of digging the red, black, and white coloring in this. But he wasn't ready for this. Welcome, Terry. I've been waiting for you, as Spawn sits on the throne. Al sounds different to Terry. It's not the echo of his voice, but the phrasing of the language. It sounds regal. Tell me why you're here. What are you scared of, that this throne will take my soul? I'm afraid you're gonna try bringing her back, says Terry. Why? Because secretly you want her for yourself? That Wanda is yours, she's not yours. And Terry's like, bro, she's not coming back, Al. You need to accept that. He doesn't even acknowledge him as king. He just acknowledges him as Al. Too bad, says Spawn. You don't have a say in that. I do. They weren't lying, Terry. She can come back if I want her to. If you really love her, you don't want to do that, Spawn. Or actually, he calls him out because he's not going to acknowledge him as King Spawn. Don't tell me what I can do. Not even after you betrayed me. Not after you stole her from me. The God Throne bubbles made from the monsters Al has slain. Their putrid bodies are coursing through his vein as he sits on his throne. I know what I'm dealing with, and I need you to see it too. Terry's like, I'll take you down now if I have to, so you gotta get a grip. That's right, my boy. Get mad. Rage. I'll need that spirit because if I fail, you will need to find a way to kill me. But we aren't there yet, so don't worry. Soon, very soon, you will know what you need to do. Because either every one of my enemies will pay for their connection to Wanda's death, or I will need them to claim the throne for myself. If it comes to that, Terry. Destroy me any way you have to. What about Wanda, says Terry. As he sinks into the shadow, Al whispers, leave her to me. Then once Spawn and Terry are gone, the true architects of the night appear. The court of priests. It has begun, says Ezra, as it would. Simmons has felt the power of the throne. It runs through him, and now that urge will be near it, will only grow. When it consumes him, the dead zones will open. And one of the brothers is like, when he does that, we annihilate him and everyone he cares for. Azra has no patience for this. That type of thinking is what got the dead zone seals in the first place. You let Spawn rule uncontrolled, then you guys are fools. And the monster's like, Zab is right. We've given Spawn too much knowledge. And the girl's like, you'll follow the laws. The same laws all of us on the court of priests agree to. Enough, says Azrael. When? You know Simmons better than anyone. What do you think? And the brother is like, not Terry, but the other Abrazab. I can't tell the distinction with this black, white, and red. He says when he believes his cause is right, he won't let anything or anyone stand his way. You offered him his queen. We need him to be our king now. Because whether Simmons likes it or not, he's tied to the throne. The God Throne has felt its king. Now it awaits him. His inevitable return. Look, see for yourself. The throne mantle is telling us who'll sit and be our Lord. Simmons will return back to hell. Then finally, he will fulfill his true destiny. And that's where we end this review, this issue of King Spawn, issue number 10. This issue has both grit and foreshadowing that this may not be the last time we see the black, white, and red format being used. I totally get that it's used as a way of the transformation of Spawn's rage, or the rage that's taking place with Spawn based on what happened in issue number 9. So if this is how King Spawn is going to present itself, I might be open to another red, black, and red color, because it feels like a Frank Miller Sin City kind of vibe, but I kind of dig it. I really do. But what you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also link in description if you wish to add this comic book to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry. And last but not least, if you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Don't be shy, don't be stingy. Here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. And don't forget to check us out on our other social media platforms too, as well as Whatnot, where we do online auctions on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.